Hey everybody, welcome back to the JP Podcast, episode 19. Today we have Wen Zhang on, and absolutely such great energy, electrifying energy from the moment we said hello. Naturally, just pure light, and has a background from China, a crazy story which we're going to get into. Learned English through a cassette tape. Came here, built corporate America to a master's degree. And then you got a master's degree and you got an MBA, and then from there built a company. I think 320 million in management that you manage 400 sales teams. So yes.
Yeah, at the corporate world. Yes.
In the corporate world, and now works with executives, business owners, startups, specifically in tech, that are looking to raise capital, looking to understand the market, how to get channels, how to get their business out there, and then executive leadership. On top of that, not comedy, improv. If you want to laugh, have a good time, improv here, amazing, speaks on stage, just a great story, and loves her dog. So we're going to get into it today. So tell us, the audience, a little bit about who you are and how you got to this point in your life.
Yeah, wow, George, what an introduction. How to live up to that hype. First of all, thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
My name, Wen, actually means rainbow in the sky in Chinese. I am born and raised, like I mentioned, in a small town in the southern east part of China, on the mountain in a small town. Where I grew up is, if you want to go by nearby city, you hop in a car, you go around the mountain and around and around and around. 8 hours later, you're going to arrive in the new city.
Wow.
And we grew up without cars or internet. So you can imagine in a town like that, people are born there, people oftentimes spend their entire life there, and that's how the trajectory of the town. And in my town specifically, girls are undesired, unwanted, and therefore there's not much possibility for women like myself, besides just being a wife, a mother, which I think is a very sacred role that a lot of women embrace, especially my entire family. But there's just nothing besides that. And for me, I couldn't tell you what it is. I just always have this crazy idea in my heart. I will literally remember I would walk around my village and just stare in the sky where the mountain just meet the cloud and just daydreaming. What if there's a world outside for me to see one day? So that is where I come from. And you mentioned earlier a little bit about the cassette tape. So yeah, really, my story officially began by a random visit to a library. I found a cassette tape machine in the corner. And at the time, again, I don't really know much about what cassette machine or what cassette tape really meant. But that moment, I just felt it is unknown. I felt maybe there's a possibility. I don't know what that is, but I felt maybe it might be the platform, help me to step into something different than what I always know. So that's how I started a journey, start to teach myself English using that cassette tape machine, where you can imagine at the time where everyone all think I'm insanely crazy. They all think I'm out of my mind. And teaching myself English is not easy, as you can imagine. So I did not fail just one time. I did not just fail 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8. So 9 major failures in 4 years. That's how I came to America.
Wow.
Exactly 13 years ago.
Wow. So how old were you when you went to that library?
Probably 15, 16.
Okay, so up until then, you don't speak English.
No.
The town you grew up in, 8 hours away from the next city.
Yes.
Top of the mountain. What's the population? Do you remember how many people lived in that town?
It sounds weird. Probably over 1 million people.
Over 1 million people.
So imagine this, right? It's a small town, but it's so far away from everything else. People think this is the world. People think this is how the world should be. And this is because we have so many people where they all do their thing. They all play the role in the village, in the town. Everyone seems so happy in their life. So
but there's 1 million people in this town?
Yes, there's a lot of people.
Okay.
That's why today, I'm not a big fan of parade, because I feel like I'm parade every day when I'm growing up. You go to street, you parade because there's so many people.
Got it.
That was a joke. But yeah, we got a lot of people, but small village.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and why are women not valued? Going back to that real quick.
Again, I'm saying that it's just my village. I mean, clear, this is not about China. It's about my village, my small town, right?
Yeah, okay.
And things probably already changed today, so I don't want to speak for that. But at the time, still are. women just undesired because you think it's weird. The culture, you think women gonna marry to another family, you're gonna take the family's last name. So you are not our family's people anymore. Does that make any sense? It doesn't.
Sure. No, I understand the concept. I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah,
so
and like we are not on the family tree. Like for example, when my grandfather passed away, I remember that we don't even be informed. I don't know when is the funeral. I'm not invited. Neither is men's attend. Men's take the responsibility. When family go older, right, you take care of your family, but mainly is the men of the home because they think if you have a daughter, your daughter going to take care of someone else's family. They are not your daughter. So it's almost, they feel like it's such a waste. And
that's interesting. Did that affect you in any way as a kid, or did you like, it wasn't a big thing because it was cultural wise? You're like, hey, it's not a big.
I did not love it. I read a story in America called Little Ducklings. I don't know if you got a chance to read with your children.
Not yet.
The idea here is it's a bunch of little ducklings and there's little, not goose, but what do you call it? Like a little, not goose, but like a little different duck that was born there.
Okay.
And everyone else are little duckling, but he was like, wait, I'm different.
Okay.
And there's a lot of, I'm going to talk directly to myself because that story is not. My mom grew up, I grew up watching my mom. She is just not value of herself. Like she will not eat the dinner. Only when dinner is complete, then she will sit down and eat the leftovers. She will only clean. Whenever my dad's home, it's like, oh my God, like Kim is home. She's just very low self-esteem. She have to make sure, she's really embody the woman of my village where it's all about make sure the men of the house have everything they need, and she never put herself first. She put herself the least of the least. And I grew up, that's a norm how I sing, but I just felt this dissonance in my heart. You know, I don't know what it is. I just feel this is not right. Even though I'm so young, like, you know, could be 3 or 4 or 5, watching my mom, I did not know what is right or wrong. I just felt this disconnection, and therefore there's a lot of pain, challenges in my heart. I felt, what's wrong with me? Why do I have this problem? Why? Look at my cousin, which I adore them. We are 1 year, we are very close, like a sister. They are so happy, but I hated it. I so hated it. But I thought, what's wrong with me? I must be crazy. Yeah. So there's the longest time, you know, my young childhood and early teenager age, I questioned myself. I thinking I'm just, everyone seems perfect, so it must be me. And there's a lot of that come back in the heart every day, every single day.
Now that you've progressed and you've gone through this journey of self-awareness and you look back at that moment, do you understand, like, you just wanted more, or how do you associate that? Like I
just born differently.
Okay.
The universe, God gave me a different kind of light.
Okay.
It's like water and oil. It doesn't.
Okay.
There's a dissonant there, and I am that. I'm that trailblazers.
Okay.
We talk about women's, my entire family lineage. Think about 5,000 of, you know, my people, my grandmother, her grandmother. No woman ever have chance to live a life truly to her own. No woman never get a chance to step out of the house and not just live the house, live the village, but live this city, the country, to pursue something worthy of her own. No woman ever see herself beside just someone's wife,
so
someone's
you're the
mother.
First in your bloodline as a woman to do that.
I'm very honored. I take pride for that, and that's why for the longest time I see what women, what girl are social or capable of in my town, and I always have this intention that I want to show the world what a girl can really be and do.
That's great. There's a term that we were on a call the other day, and the guy says, I'm a bloodline breaker. And it was such a cool term because he grew up in a very dysfunctional family. Not saying your family's dysfunctional, but he grew up in a very dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
And he's been the first to get out of that, to break that bloodline. So
it take the first for everything.
Yep. So you come to, what made you want to come to the U.S.? Is it because it's the land of, you know, freedom, dreams? Like, why did you come here?
I have no idea what U.S. is. We have limited education about geography. I actually don't even have a map. I did not know U.S. I did not know the difference between U.S., UK, Australia. That is very foreign to me. All I know is I need to go. This is not for me. I gotta go.
Okay.
And I talk about how much pain, how much dissonance it was in my heart in my early childhood and teenager. And the moment I find the cassette machine, I thought this is the only hope. This is either this is it or I will die. So I channel all my pain into that one possibility. I did not care US, UK, or anywhere, just anywhere that take me. And I applied 12 university. I got one yes. Did not know what that was. There's no college tour or anything like that. I know nothing. I did not even, it was Chicago by the time. I have no idea what even city Chicago. I don't even know the weather. I was all right, I'm going. And a fun story, after I learned that Chicago actually is pretty cold, when I'm in a climate where a little bit warmer, so I never see snow growing up. So I remember my mom and I, once I know I'm going to Chicago, we hop on her scooter, that's how we how to commute in the town. We literally drive around every single town, every single bedding stores in the town, and just looking at the thickest blanket we can find, because my mom thought I'm going to die with the snow because we never experiencing it. And we don't know we can buy it here. Of course we don't. So we literally hop around the scooter, just like ask one bedding store after another, like, where's the thickest blanket? And we find it, and we vacuum seal it, and I bought it to America. I still have that today. So
wow, what a great story.
I did not know America. I just come.
So you showed up. You're like, I left this little village in a mountain. Now you're in Chicago, right?
At the time, yes. At the time, international flight can only take 4 suitcases maximum. I remember the very, very day I landed in O'Hare International Airport. Two suitcases each hand, in a pair of high heels. I don't know one. I just remember I was there, standing there. And that moment I thought, oh my God, this is actually a new country. Everything is new. There are English signs everywhere. And I first time realized, oh wow, oh shoot, this is actually a new world. When you learn English, use a cassette tape machine. When you only learn book English, it's a different experience than actually in the world that everything is completely new. And at the time, I need to find the word exit. I need to go exit to somewhere. But I never learned this word exit in my book English. And I'm at the time so shy. I'm so terrified. I never speak to anyone in English before, and I'm terrified to even talk to people. And I just remember I have the 2 suitcases in a high heel standing right there. And if you know O'Hare Airport, it's like very busy, right? People like come and go. Everyone just inside, they know their stuff, they going the thing. And I was like, oh shoot, what do I get myself into? I still remember that very moment. And yeah, that's 13 years before.
Wow. So you found a way to the school, obviously.
Yes. Oh my God. And
then you chose to study business?
At the time, marketing. Advertising. Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose marketing and advertising?
This is another crazy story. No reason. My undergrad was, I choose probably over a little bit step back. I grew up, my dad, he gambles.
Okay.
My mom's housewife. So we are no business about business world at all. There's no internet. So I know nothing about how the world works. I really did not know that. And for us, our college application process is you take an exam once a lifetime, you take once a year. If you fail, you start over next year again. It's not like here you can take it as many as you want. So one time you take that exam, which you prepare 18 years for it. I took the exams. And after exam, you get a score, and now you apply blindly to a university and majors. You don't know which university you should apply, but you just kind of gut feelings. Example, if I apply University A, and if soon there are 10,000 people applying at the same time, because I don't know, we all apply at the same time, now they will just cut the line based on how many people they can take. So it's pure like a chance. So I thought, well, this is just really God's will with anything. I got a sheet of paper, little paper, I have a pencil, I have 100 university lists in front of me with the hundreds major. I don't know what major means. I don't know what architect means versus business. I don't know what accounting means. I don't know what law means. I know doctor. I know that. So my first option is that's going to be a doctor. That's something that I know. That's my first choice. Second choice, I was like, well, really, if you're second choice, no school will care about you, just so you know. So after your first choice made, everything else is just whatever. You're just eating chips. All right, whatever I feel like. So I just scramble 100 university after that. I'm like, this is just whatever. I mailed it in. I did not get my first choice. Of course, I 1 point away. So then I default in 12 choices. Whatever I even make in that time, it happened to be marketing.
Got it.
I was like,
wow.
I don't know what that is. God want me to do that, I'm go for it. So I happened to learn marketing. And in hindsight, oh my God, I will be a terrible doctor. Universe, God, thank you. So that's a story how I chose marketing.
Wow.
It was all purely luck. I couldn't even tell you. There's no research. There's no preferences going to it. I just, okay.
So you get your marketing degree,
Yes.
you get into corporate America, and you move up fairly quickly through leadership.
I first started with a startup, in the startup world in Chicago.
Okay, got it.
In the marketing, I went to a University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, which is a suburb of Chicago. I was there for 2 years for my master's degree. And after that, just imagine, would you want to hire a foreigner speaking English as a second language, completely fresh off the boat, in your marketing agency, when your advertising agency crafting the AdWords for you? The answer is no. So you can see it was real. It was true. I remember at the time I would take 5 hours Greyhound bus, if you know what that is, like the bus from suburb to Chicago to interview those positions, and they will be like, no. And I take another 5 hours back, like the same day, to save money, of course. It was very difficult to really find my way into the advertising marketing world. That was at the time, that's my dream. But I thought, you know what, darn it, I can't do that. Why don't I start something on my own? So that's how I started my first business in Chicago. And me and a partner, we started a service-based company for 2 years. So yeah, ever since then in Chicago, I just basically in startup world in 5 years.
So you were applying for a job. You're not getting hired.
Not at all.
Your solution is, let me start a business.
Yeah, because I want to be the change I want to see in the world. I can't wait. No one's coming to save me. I got to hustle.
Yeah.
And I think that, I believe, being the change we all want to see in the world, I think that's the number one thing that's very important. There's a lot of people love to complain, love to like say, oh, look at that person do for me. Look at this job. Look at this thing. But no, how do we fix it yourself?
Yeah, that's the mentality of I believe a lot of immigrants have.
Yeah, we hustle.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the opposite, sometimes like the opposite is true, where would you want to hire that person? Maybe because they have a point to prove, maybe because they're going to outwork, maybe because they're the last person somebody would hire, so they would appreciate that more, and then they do a better job. So you've never worked at a job. This is all theory that you've gotten in school.
Yeah.
Right? And now you're like, let me go apply this theory. Let me go start a business. What was the business that you guys started?
First business is service businesses.
Okay.
We support at the time international population, international students, helping them to gain professional experience in U.S.
Wow.
We basically matching with different corporations, helping them find the internship, help them build a resume before they graduate.
So your problem became the opportunity.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I can't figure this out. Let's be the solution. I really believe that the answer is all within each and every one of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. So you couldn't get a job.
Yes.
So your solution was, let me go create a company to help people get jobs.
I never think it that way, but yes, that is what I did.
So what did you do different to help these guys get jobs than when you were looking for a job?
I partnered with an amazing person. His name is Craig. He's amazing. So we basically, how the gist of it is, we basically connecting all the different corporations, exactly like you said, right? Those international folks, we are working harder. I believe I always working, and this is the truth, I get everything 115% every single time I do. So we do see, international population do have a higher performance rate, and we do looking at all the data, all the stacks, right? How did this individual provide even more value for this corporation? And we're looking at that, and therefore we provide those basically connecting the dots for the corporation who are looking for amazing talent. And like you said, actually statistics shows that when you give those immigrants a job, he or she likely have higher loyalty and commitment to the company. They less likely want to turn. They are not turning just for the company, for the project, for more money. They feel like someone give me a chance. Like, thank you. They really give it all. And that's something that, I take proud of myself, and I know my fellow, friends and, colleagues do exactly the same. And you talk about the 3 reasons earlier. I always feel that I have so much to prove, and I think everyone always felt that way. So we really give it all. So by articulating that value proposition, we got a few yeses from corporation. And then through that, we also looking at our international student population and really help them understand the cultural differences. We train them to think, well, how do we really now adapt to the modern, right, U.S. corporation world? Think about what your career trajectory wanted to be. How do you stack up internship 1, 2, and 3? What is the next journey might look like for you? So we really just kind of like being the platform supporting both sides and connecting the dots.
That's so beautiful, because there's somebody else like yourself in some other village and somewhere in the world that is like, I'm different. I need to go do something wrong with me. No, I'm just different. And then they're lost, and you get to be that person that helps them connect that dot and start their life.
I never think it that way, George.
Well,
it was just so far away, so long ago. I never think of it that way. Now you said it, I was like, oh, wow, that is so cool.
Do you remember the first person that you placed in like a job? Do you remember that person? Or do you remember that moment?
It's hard to, because at the time it is, you probably felt that way too, and I'm still feel that way. When it's your business, I really I see everyone as my sister, my brothers.
That's
I remember,
awesome.
I remember there's so many, I never even care about how much time I spend with that person. We will have lunch, we have a coffee meeting, we chat about their life, their career. I know about their family. Like, it's just, it's not even a job, a project. I really see them as someone that I really wanted to be successful, because I see they are so talented.
That's great.
And yeah, so it's not really a one person, one moment. It is a collective. I see the impact that, I see that they call it, raising the ceilings, and seeing those individuals today, they are very successful in different space of their career, and just see I play a small, tiny part in their life, and it's very gratifying.
Yeah, it's a great legacy. I hope that when we pass, if I hope heaven is real, and that God allows us to just see kind of the impact that we made that we never got a chance to really see, on how that changed like generations.
Yeah.
But I think that's awesome that you've done that. I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was telling me how he wants to achieve his goal. And he made a statement of, I need to get this from this person. And I was like, that's the problem, right?
Yes.
Your motive.
Yes.
Your motive is wrong. And so the motivation isn't there because the motive isn't right. And people feel that. People sense that. Light recognizes light, like you said. So people feel, people feel, that, man, I really want to help you. Or I really care about you. And it makes all the difference.
I watched this TedX Talk that make a big impression on me. Again, I'm in comic. So there's a comedian talk about the psychology about a joke. And then this comedian is a very famous one. I forgot his name specifically, but he talked about before he do the show, he always think about, how can I get love from audience? How can I get love on the whole? How can I win them over? And the moment he changes perspective, thinking, how can I give her or him an opportunity to love? Now his entire career changed.
Wow, that's great.
And I see that so deeply is if we all walk around thinking, how can I get something from George? How can I get something from Shane? How can I get something from this and that? Now there's almost like a math I'm doing.
Yeah.
Versus how can I be a service? And when we think, I think that's all coming down to leadership. How do you want to show up? How do you want to lead? How do we want to bring our presence to the world and really serve the greater purpose? I think that changing everything.
Yeah, we had a guest that Shane got on, Carl Grant, and Carl would be a great contact for you, but he's like, most people walk around with their hand out, and he's like, I built my whole career on what can I give you? Like, how can I help you? Who you need capital? I'll connect you. You need that guy or that girl in that role? I got you. So that's how he built his career, and it's a funner way of playing the game, because life is it goes by quick, and I'm in a season of my life where I want to enjoy the way that I work and what I do, and I feel like when you really believe that you're helping people, you feel like you have more value to give, and you do better. So
and make life so much more fun.
Yes. So you start that business. You're there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then what'd you do next? What was next?
Then we just jumping different startups in Chicago. Yeah,
Okay.
and the next I got recruited supporting this tech business in Chicago. They wanted to really expand the business globally.
Okay.
So I'm the one leading their global expansions, helping them to. They at the time taking 10 years to open their business in U.S. really in a hospitality group. So I was leading the charge of helping them expand that to the global market.
So they were a startup.
They
or no?
Yes, that word is so vaguely use, right? What is startup? They at the time have teamed up 20 people, right?
Okay.
Roughly about, I think, $1 to $3 million ARR every single year. So yeah, startup.
What qualifies a company as a startup? Is it a certain number of people, time in business?
That really up to everyone's judgment,
Okay.
right? It's,
Got it.
it is individual people say, well, we can always be a startup, right? There's Series A, there's Series B, and so on. So for different stage, but oftentimes it really depends on what level, what stage they are, and what next goal they want to go to, and if they require funding or not. That oftentimes they take a lot of the stages conventionally. But if you are self-funded, right? If you are, funding from your customer, which is the best thing ever. If you do that, right, that's really up to your own interpretation. You might say, well, when I'm still small business, I have friends who are leading about, I think, $5 to $8 million revenue this year. He still thinks himself is a small business because he never raised a capital a day. He's raising capital from his customers. They have teamed up maybe 15, maybe 30-ish individuals, right? He thinks himself is a small business, but it's not small. Okay, if you compare to like 2-person startup, that's small, right? So it's all relative.
Got
it's
it.
all whatever.
So you go from placing people, career development, placing people, working with companies to identify, opportunities to hire the right people. From there, you transition to, you get recruited to that company to help them expand their business globally.
Yeah.
Right. Your experience from placing people, was that why you got recruited? Because you had contacts in different markets in the world?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Is the reason, I don't often say this publicly, but the first company was, I loved it so much, but there's little fallout between the partners.
Okay.
There's a value that doesn't align in terms of the integrity that I feel like I stand for. So there's a little bit just we part with a different value, let's call that. And I'm thinking, well, okay, great, this is amazing. I love startup. That's all I know at the time. What is next for me? And I really believe that universe always have best planned. And this is at the time my friend said, hey, when you should talk to my friend, this friend. And I talked to him. You're like, wow, when this is amazing. Why don't you help me do this thing?
Did you know how to do that thing when you got hired?
Not at all. Of course not.
Yeah.
It's like when I come to America, I have no idea what I'm doing. When I start the first business, zero idea what I'm even getting myself into. But I think the best way is you learn by doing. The clarity comes with action you take. If you say, well, I'm going to get my 10-year plan figured out and I start act, you will never start. Start today. I think the best way to start when you're not even ready. And that is where the magic is.
I love that. Start before you're ready.
Start before you're ready. And that's how I do improv. I walk on the stage, have no idea what I'm about to say. I don't know what the show is even about. I just trust universe God gonna deliver. I'm gonna have a partner. We're gonna log in. We are gonna be one. We all gonna come together and we make magic. And that's how I see life too. You show up. You ask universe, what is next? You step forward.
I love that. I love it. So you get into that business. You're in the startup world. That company is the one where you started managing like 400 sales teams?
That's the next one. But this one is, again, first of all, I'm in no business in that particular tech business because they are in hospitality. They help people automate the cash transaction for luxury hotels.
Okay.
I know nothing about accounting. But can you imagine? I can't even imagine. I can't even tell you what happened. Again, it takes them 10 years to open the U.S. market. I was just like, all right, let's just see what happens. Under 1 year, I sealed a corporate contract for International Marriott in Asia, which is like, oh my God. I represent the company, become the only one vendor being invited for the global convention. So there I was in Macau, in the Macau Marriott International Airport, which hotel, which is one of the world's largest hotel when it comes to amount of cash transaction they have every single day. Because their unique position, they have 3 different currencies. They have Chinese, they have Macau dollar, they have US currency. And I, again, no squat about accounting, now leading this whole implementation, leading this team up, maybe I have 30 accountants, now report to me, I'm there inside. They say, all right, want to help us with a cash transaction, cash reconciliation. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And then remember, oh my God, I was like, all right, I totally can do it. It's a fancy hotel. I stayed there. I don't remember anything about the hotel. I just remember I was panicking because there's time differences. So I saw, all right, we should do this in the morning. And they have question to me. And I have no idea what the question is. So I said, all right, no problem. I'll get back to you. Quickly go back to the hotel, call my US team. Hey guys, which are all smart people, all super, super smart people. Hey guys, what does cash back means? What does due back means? How this 2 number doesn't balance? What do we need to do? Like, I literally got on the phone with them in Skype at the time. Zoom is not that prevalent at the time. Like, figure this out. Like, I cannot believe that they trust me to not only leading this business expansion. Now they said, "Well, when you open a business, why don't you implement this?" I said, "Okay, I'm down." And now I'm leading this whole team.
I love that.
Which is magical. Wow. Now thinking back, like, I have no idea. I don't even know how I'm in business in that, but I was.
I think your attitude. I think it's such a great, because I try to find common denominators, like what makes this person successful, or what is success, or what are the success traits, so that we can find people like that, or so that we could teach it to other people, right? And for you, I feel like your attitude is just such a positive attitude of, and I tell my guys FIO all the time. It's like, how do I do this? FIO. So they all know when they figure it out.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Figure it out. Like,
Always.
Hey, how do I do FIO, man? Figure it
Yes.
out, right?
Yes.
Or Google, right? We use something else, GTS. Google that stuff.
Yes.
Anyways. But that's your attitude of like, I'm willing, right? That's the second part that I see, like the willingness in you, like just go, right?
Just go.
And then the confidence in terms of the ability to learn. I remember this man told me this a long time ago. Is I don't know everything, but I do know this about myself. I have the ability to learn, and I find confidence in my ability to learn.
Yeah.
So I see that, like, you have all those gifts. It's just amazing to be willing to do that, because too many people, they're like, oh, I'm so afraid of failing that they never do anything, and they fail because they never did anything. And the other person was failing so much in every day, every time, and yet they do so much.
But
it's such a paradox.
If you don't stop, you won't fail.
Yes, that's powerful.
And like,
if you don't stop, you won't fail.
You can't, because who says until the last breath on earth, who's judging? It's not up to me. You're not judging. I'm not judging. No one's watching. No one cares. In a way, no one cares. No one watching you. Oh my God, when did you do this thing? No, who cares? I remember that there's a morning when I was at that tech company, like every Monday morning we have this huddle, right? We just, everyone all come in, we talk for 2 hours. I cannot kiss you this. The first 2 months, I'm sitting in a meeting where they all speak English. I speak English. I speak great English, I think. I don't understand one word they said. Because they are so technical, literally, that it's all very accounting terms, very technical. Everyone's technical but me, right? So I remember I have this notebook. I write down all the words. I catch my best, and meeting 2 hour finish. I know nothing. I don't know what happened. I would just walk, and I see the last person walk. Like, I get up, right, walk out the office. I see the last person would get up and just ask him, "Hey, Phil, can you explain this one word to me?" And he said, "Oh, this is." And I asked this person 2 questions. I said, "Thank you so much." And I catch another person. "Hey, Tim, can you tell me what the 2 word is?" And then he told me. And I told him, "All right, guys, one day, my goal is I can understand this meeting one day." I remember that. And yeah.
I love that. so you're in Macau.
Yeah.
And you're doing this.
You're doing the thing.
And then what was your next move after that?
That's been fun. Again, I spent about 5 years in Chicago, startup world. I feel so much fun. I felt like, I feel like I'm first time in charge of my own destiny. Wow. I see the impact. I see my effort, and I see the impact immediately, which is something that is so thrilling and exciting. But at that moment, I have a conversation to myself, because, first of all, grew up in a small town village. I never thought I have a chance ever, one day ever left. So I thought to myself, if I ever leave, that's a bet to myself. If I ever do, I'm going to go see the whole world. And that moment, I thought, you know what? 5 years, I do see quite a bit small world in Chicago, in a small team aspect. I want to see an even bigger world. And that's when I want to get my MBA from Duke University. And that's how I transitioned to a big world.
Have you been back home yet, or no, since you left?
I back home many times.
Oh, nice.
Yes. It's just a long travel. It's 24 hours minimum door to doors.
Wow.
It's like a flight, another flight, buses, and motorcycle, and you arrive.
Do you have siblings?
I have a sister. She's amazing.
Is she here or back home?
Everyone's at home. My dad, my parents, my family, everyone's
What
back
do they
home.
think about you now?
I never ask. And I don't even know about Asian culture. We never tell people we love you. We don't tell people you are.
Don't say it.
We don't tell you I'm proud of you. We don't ever say that. Our love is, "Oh, George, I think you gained some weight today," because we love you. Or our love is, "Hey, George, I think we should have a baby now." Like, what's up? Like, "Hey, George," like, you get that? Like, there's no boundary.
No, I don't get it.
Okay, you don't. Okay.
Okay, so
that's just how my family is.
Okay.
So yeah, they I don't ever get a chance to ask them, and I can.
So why do you think that is? Why or
There's
what
a
are you?
culture. There's a hierarchy. There's like I couldn't challenge my parents. They are my parents. They all
Sure.
be always gonna be my. I don't want to say king, but there's energetically there's always someone that I deeply respect and honor, and I do feel that way. Without them, I won't be here. I do stand on their shoulder, so today I have a chance to see the bigger world. That's their culture, how they grew up that way. And
Is that a like more like a Chinese culture where like you don't say I love you or you don't say
yes.
it's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, but specifically, my dad's very like a rough person, and like tough individual, like a man, like a macho man, and it's just different era, different time.
Yeah.
They never be educated, so it's different kind of mentality too.
But when you're a kid in that environment, since you don't know any better, you don't feel like you're being neglected. You don't feel like you're not getting love. Or as a kid, do you feel like, did you feel as a kid you still wanted to hear, hey, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm
I
this?
do. I do. I always wanted that. And I think maybe that's why that's one of the big fuel that driving me is I really want to make my family proud. Like, it's something very important to me.
Have they ever left that town to...
When I graduated from Duke MBA, they come to see my graduation, which
Wow.
it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it meant a lot to you.
And we don't have graduation culture in China, but I remember when I take a walk and they say my name, and yeah.
That's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm very proud of.
Yeah, you should be. So now you leave to go work with this company and you're managing 400 sales teams. Is that correct? Is that number correct?
A little bit time frame. So I did my 2-year MBA Duke, so much fun, and that actually brought me to Austin, Texas. I
Okay.
supported Dell Technology Company, the laptop company.
Yeah.
I helped them with the go-to-market channel segment, and that's when I helped support their 400 sales teams in North America in the channel segment, which is about $375 million portfolio in a global go-to-market motion.
So go-to-market. Explain
Yes.
go-to-market. What does that mean?
Basically, think about go-to-market is I have a product. All right, amazing. I know this is my customers. How do I get from my product to my customer? This is go-to-market motion is. That means what are different channel I'm going after? What are different, we call account play? What are different messaging go along with that? What the split program might look like? What is sales incentive? All the piece. Think about anything between the product and the customer. Everything between how do we get from here and here, that's what go-to-market means. And they have a different definition in a bigger company versus smaller company because you have a different budget, different goal, different level of intricacy when it comes to customer journey. So in that business, I was really hoping to see the global world. I want to see a corporate world. And that's when I really get a hands-on and seeing how the business really look like in the global environment. And it's just so much fun and amazing culture of great people. I really enjoy my time there. Blessing time.
And now there was 3 things when I said, hey, if somebody's coming to you for help, what would they come to you? Mm-hmm. And you said startup in the tech industry to raise capital, right? Number 2 is go to market, right? And number 3, you said executive leadership, vision, and systems and whatnot. So you learned a lot of the things that you now do through your business, through your career, your corporate career.
Yes.
When did you leave corporate to go back into saying, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur again, and why?
There's a moment I got a call from my VP. He was like, Wen, I think you are amazing. I think you should come to my org. I want you to work for me. I'm going to give you a promotion. You should work for me. And that call was so exciting. By that moment, I was just thinking, I'm in a crossroad. If I take this,
I'm in a what?
I'm in a crossroad.
Oh, got it.
If I take this amazing promotion, working this amazing leader, I felt like this is the path I'm going after. And that moment, I just think about, it's hard to really say this, but I hate that I'm not being grateful at the time. I think I have everything from outside world. I have an amazing job. I make great money. On LinkedIn, I look great. I have an amazing husband. Everything look great. But something is just missing in my heart. I couldn't tell what it is. And that phone call, which is such a great news, I'm so humbly, grateful for that leader seeing me. And I thought to myself, I have to make a decision. And that moment, I thinking back about, really, who am I? What do I really want to stand on this planet? I think about my story when I'm stuck in a little mountain village and just want to dream about the bigger world. Or when I'm in Chicago hustling a bunch of startups, I think at heart I'm always that dreamer, I'm always that doer, I'm that visionary. I want to make things happen. And meanwhile, my skill set, right, last 15 years from education, from professional world is all around business development, storytelling, marketing, sales. So that is my gift. That's what I'm passionate about. That's why I wanted to bring that together to support people that support the piece that I really felt aligned with, which at the time, I see so many startup entrepreneurs, business owners, they are dreamers just like me once. And I want to helping them, give them the skill set and right support so they can go to the next level. And that's in my heart for sometimes, similar for sometimes. I just never know it's the right time. But that call just tell me I had to make a call right now. And I had to be honest to my leader. His name is Dave. I told him, hey, thank you for the amazing offer. I don't know when, but I don't think I'm going to be here too long. And I cannot take a job and I leave in 2 months. That will be not along with it. That will be not integrity to myself. And I have to be honest with you. I'm sorry. I cannot take the role, but this is not my resignation. I don't know when. I just can't take the role. And he was like, wow, Wen, thank you for the honesty. No problem. I wish you all the best. And 2 months later, I, again, did not plan this out. Just 2 months later, they just, alignments. Universe God tell me this is the time. I left that Friday.
Okay, so 2 months later.
Yes.
By the way, that's super integrity because a lot of people would have said, I can get promoted, I can get more experience, I can get more money, and then I could do that.
I can't do
and
that.
And for you to say, I won't move forward out of integrity,
yes,
that's integrity.
It's very important because, I mean, if a leader recruit me, allocate a budget, and I leave, leave that person hanging. Yeah. That's not, I cannot do that.
Those are very important things.
That's something that I thrive by. My top two values. Number one is integrity. My words, I said I want to be here, I will be here. Second is authenticity. I cannot be anyone else but me. And I have to be completely honest to myself and people around me. That's how I stand.
I love that. Integrity and authenticity.
Yes, that's me.
I love it. So 2 months later,
mm-hmm.
What happened 2 months later?
I start my own business.
What was that switch? What was that moment? You're like, why now? Why not 3 months? Why not?
It was August. It was the anniversary of me coming to America. Exactly 10 years. And that, it just simmered in my heart. And if you ever have the moment where you just feel like it's about time. Like even though you think about this for so long and suddenly you feel like, yes, I see the clarity. Now it's time. Let's act. That was for me. But just so you know, I plan this. I let my leader know, like the whole time. We transitioned perfectly. I hired a person replacing me. I trained her. Everything's transitioned perfectly. That's something that's very important to me. Perfect transition. And I left that Friday, which is August 27th.
And you started your business.
Yes, I started my business. The first thing I did in my business when I start, first thing I did is I lived in Chicago at the time, Austin at the time. I fly to Chicago. I did 3 days comedy in Second City. I was like, wow, it's a new chapter. Let's start a new life. I did 3 days comedy and I fly back Austin, start my business. No business plan, no whatsoever. I was like, all right, let's just see what happens.
Was that your first time doing comedy?
No, that's just no. I'm always doing that, but that's just something that I love. I love Second City. It's just one of the big comedy place in the world. So I was like, well, it's time to celebrate. So I fly there for 3 days, 3 days
that's
straight,
awesome.
And come back here.
That's awesome. And so you come back and you start your business.
Yes.
Did you already know, like when you say, hey, okay, here's the business I'm going to start. I'm passionate about this. This is where my skills lie.
Yes, so I know that part.
So I have a question on this part.
Yes.
When people make these decisions,
mm-hmm.
right? For me, I think, hey, here's my values. This is what I believe in life is the most important. 2, this is my skill set. This is what I think I'm very good at. And then 3, this is my passion. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those do you think is the most important to start a business?
They're all important.
But would you start a business based on your skill sets, or you start a business based on your passion? Or do you feel like where they intersect?
Ideally, it's intersect. If you heard about the word ikigai, right? That 3 diagram, it has to be in the middle. And for me, I love storytelling. I love messaging. I have ability to distill complex information in something super simple and easy to understand. And I have so much fun doing it. It's almost like I think because I learned English as a second language, therefore I see the language in a different world. It's almost like an art I'm making, and I have so much fun doing it. And whenever sitting across a business owner like this and seeing their vision and help them distill into a story, and at the end they were like, oh wow, Wen, this is exactly what I do. Thank you. This is so simple. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I have so much fun. I felt like this moment I'm doing improv. Like there's a partner, I'm yesing, and then we create something together magically, which I don't always know what that was. But when it came out, I was like, wow, this is beautiful. For me, I think without the passion, without the light, without the joy, there's no sustainability in that. Because skill set, right? It's great. We can acquire a lot of skill set, but unless it's coming from a place of true love and passion and commitment, it's hard to have the long game. And as someone business owner leader like you who are succeeding in so many different areas of your life, this is a long game. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not today I have an amazing skill set and hopefully, all right, I'm retired now. No, it is just so much grind coming to it. It's so much behind the scene that many people don't see that. They might say, wow, you started a business. Wow, you are so popular and this and that. You're on this stage. It sounds amazing, but there's so much, let's call it so much shit behind the scene. But that doesn't matter. It's you live for the joy. You live for the passion. You live for the light. When
you're going through that shit behind the scene, how do you motivate yourself?
You're holding a light in your heart. You know why you are here.
For people that don't understand, like when you're like, what did she just say, holding a light in your heart? Like, break that down. What do you mean?
I just so believe that life is so extremely short. And I truly believe that a woman like me, a girl like me, from a small little village, I wasn't smart, I wasn't intelligent, I wasn't gifted in any way. I have no business at what I do whatsoever in my entire career. But the fact that even just right now I'm sitting across the table with you, this doesn't just happen to me, George. I hustle day in, day out, every single day for the last 3.5 decades. So I have an opportunity, I have an honor to call you a friend, hopefully. And that I don't take it for granted. That to me is a light that help me continue to see why I'm here. I'm here to serve. And I come this far. Universe, divine, intelligence, whatever you believe in, gave me that possibility, and I hold on to that. And that every step along the way, I had to honor that. Now it's time for me to step forward so I can giving back, so I can really live in that true purpose. I'm not here just for a picket fence, a yard, a house, hopefully a 2-week vacation every single year. Hopefully that's not, like, I love money, don't get me wrong, but that's not, life is so much more than that. It's never about the project, the money, the revenue, the sales. It's about how can we step into the person we know we're capable of? How can we become the person that being the light for the world? How can we give so much more that knowing it is a win-win world for everyone? How can we be the example of the light that we all are looking for? And that is what I hold into my heart. So it's not about the win or not. It's about, am I proud of myself today? Am I go to bed? Do I feel like, wow, I have a day, I give it all. I probably screwed up 1,000 billion times between, but I give it all. And that's all it matters to me. Because I know no one is watching. No one really is. It's just between you and the universe. Whatever universe for you. No one's watching but us.
I love that. Okay, so you start this business.
Yes.
And you had an idea what you wanted to do, obviously.
I had an idea, yes.
And how did that first idea go to like, okay, this is what I'm going to do?
First of all, the idea pivot, they kind of, moving as, as business grows, pivot is the name of the game, as I tell people. I had the idea what I wanted to do at the time because I was very involved in the startup ecosystem at the time already. A lot of people recognizing my gift. Naturally, they said, well, this is amazing. Can you help me do X? Can you help me do Y? And I already have so many inquiry that I couldn't, fail that. So I started with that, which is amazing. And one thing grew to another. Like I really believe this is just, universe have this magical way to tell you're on the right path by giving you those hints. And magically, this one leader gave me a call. They are based in Washington, D.C. They have this group that entrepreneurs around Korea want to come to the United States. I think, well, can you help me with help them tell the right story, help them go to market, help them think about how to get customer in the U.S. I said, well, okay, never done it? Yes. I remember I sat in the coffee shop thinking, wow, this is first time to have 6-figure contract. I'm like, wow, can I even do this? I sit in the coffee shop drinking my coffee, like in my spreadsheet, calling all my MBA friends, get some confidence. I was like, I don't know, this is like seriously, I have no idea. I'm executing this like 3 months program, helping those super intelligent people who are all scientists, who are PhDs, who are so smart that I can ever be. They asked my support, help them go to market in US. I was like, oh shoot, I know nothing about, again, this sector coming from life science, D-Tech, AI technology, hardware solution. I know squat about all those specific technical pieces. What? And they are also double edged on me, each and every one of them. And I'm thinking, what in the world I'm supporting them to do that? And I remember Hannah called, said, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And I was like, oh my God, how do I do this? And now, 3 years later, we support over 103 business leaders across the world. And I'm about to welcome another batch visit Austin just in 2 weeks. And we help them collectively raising $53 million in revenue and sales combined. It's something that I really take big pride of. And when I meet them finally in person, and when they come to me say, wow, when working with you have changing everything for me, thank you. And that just like, oh my God, guys. Again, for me, it's never just a business. Everyone I met is a family. It's my colleagues, my sisters, my brothers, and we all holding this, I call it American dream in our heart. We all have this big heart, big vision to hopefully changing the world for the better. We all have a gift to share. For those amazing entrepreneur tech owners, they have this incredible gift that is so complex, so beautiful. And when they step forward in the global stage and share that with a customer, it's not even about the project or the revenue. It's about those hundreds, if not thousands, and millions of customers in the world are waiting for that solution that they were dreaming about day and night. And the moment we help them go to market, have the right messaging, right path, right channel, now it's win-win-win for everyone. Now we truly make the world a better place. And that's how I see the meaning of what I do. That's why I love what I do. That's why I love to hang out with, I call it the smart people, the geek people who love their craft. And now I can help them tell the right story to the right people. I see that win-win-win for everyone.
So when you sit down with these, beautiful story, by the way, I love the way you look at it. Your perspective completely changes the way that you probably work because you have the right motive. So when you sit down with them, they have products, they have desire, and you help them craft their story.
Yes.
Is that part of it so that they can go to market, so they can raise capital?
Yeah, so a few parts. Number one here is figure out what are they doing, right? That one part is the story. What story you are telling to the world, right? If you think the goal here is raising capital, now your story is to the investor. That in the world is called pitch deck, right? You need to think about what is your pitch look like to the investor. If your goal is go to market to customers, now what is your sales pitch will look like? What is your why? What is your original story? And through that, once you figured out that, now next is what is your go-to-market motion might look like? Is it through conference? Is it through Facebook ad? Is it through webinar? Is it through lunch and learn? Is it through different motion to that, right? So it's first off, figure out what business you're really building, articulate that clarity in terms of what problem you're solving, what really is your unique selling point, what is your genius, let's call it genius superpower. Figure out what your customer is and what part you want to, how do you want to get there? And that's a part of when we work together in terms of the entire story of the business.
Got it. So you understand what they do, and then you understand what problem they solve, what their genius is, and then you look at, hey, do you want to go to market, meaning you're looking for somebody as an investor, right? Or do you want to sell more to consumer?
And yet they will know that. It's their goal. And we'll just help them.
And then you help them with the go-to-market in
Correct.
terms of how they're going to target that.
Correct.
So if they're targeting investors, that's a different approach.
Completely different because you speak different audience.
Yes, versus consumers. Okay. And then you help them raise capital as well if that's the need.
If that's what they're looking for. It all depends on what stage are they.
How do you help them raise capital?
A few things, just like we said. Number one, step one is tell the right story.
Okay.
Because a lot of people say, well, when I have this amazing technology, I'm only raising $2 million. Well, that doesn't add up, right? It's not about the technology or how much money you're raising. It's about how do we tell a story to investor, make her or he see, wow, this is not just another technology. This is truly $1 million investment opportunity today and hopefully $1 billion company tomorrow. How do we tell that story first and foremost? That takes a lot of craft to that.
How do you help craft that story? Like, is there...
We do it together.
Well, you do it together.
Yes.
Okay.
But
what are the components that you look at?
So again, we research all the different pitch deck in the market, looking entirely framework. What are the different essence of different pitch deck that require? And secondly, I'm also someone that I love storytelling, looking at different piece of what makes story a story. And then combine that together. But a lot of time it's really just sitting across the table like this, where they tell me what they do, and I help them decipher that. And it's like making art. It's hard to explain.
It's an art. It's literally
just when they come together, this magic happen in that collaboration. It's not I'm sitting here behind the laptop, all right, story chapter 1, slide 2. It's not that. It's really a live and breathe collaboration that, again, combined with, let's call it science word, the framework, the benchmark, also looking at the art part about what make a story tick. But also, investors have a very short time span, right? You have probably 5 minutes. How do we tell that very scientific, very technical story, but adding a little bit more component to it that make it tick? How do we make it not just this is a product, this is AI technology? How do we make it perceive, wow, this is a multi-million-dollar investment opportunity today? And one of the scientists I support, she had this amazing, brilliant brain, and when I met her first time, just like this, we talked for 2 hours in Zoom. And afterwards, I said, Christina, like, wow, you are so smart. I have no idea what I'm even talking about. I don't know what you're building. That's how we start. After that, right? At the beginning, it's 2 hours conversation. To later, in the few months we work together, we transform that 2 hours Zoom call to a 10 minutes version. Later, she can deliver in 5 minutes, tell exactly what she does and why she's so passionate about. And that one story helped her raising $4 million.
Wow!
And she was before the MVP. It means she does not have a solution ready yet. She's in healthcare tech specifically. It requires a lot of investment upfront before you even go to market. So for that, it's pretty difficult without MVP to raising capital, and we did that together.
Do you have and I'm very systematic, do you have like a 3-step, 4-step, or 5 steps to a story, or 3 steps to a story, or no? Meaning, like, when you sit down and I say, hey, I have this.
Yes.
Right? In your brain, like, is it like,
so,
okay.
Do you want to do it quickly right now?
Yeah, sure.
Amazing. So I have this 3-part framework quickly. So just pretend you are pitching me, right? Tell me what problem are you solving, George?
So we teach people how money works, how life insurance works, how savings works. We don't help. There's a lot of people that don't get help in the middle market, like everyday people.
Can I pause you for a moment?
Yeah.
Tell me what problem you solve.
So we help people with life insurance.
Okay, you tell me that's not a problem.
Okay, so we help people when somebody passes away.
Okay, what's the problem?
That their family loses an income.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very specific. Okay.
Right? And now that spouse, if they're married, right, doesn't have that income. Mm-hmm. So they may lose their home.
I love that. So roughly, I assume you serve U.S. market, right?
Yes.
How big is how many people losing their life and their spouse in that situation? How many people are experiencing that?
How many people are dying?
Yeah.
Getting sick? Well,
yeah.
Depends on whether it's cancer or heart attacks, but every day people are passing away. I don't have specific numbers for each situation that causes people to pass away.
Just for this practice, just for fun. Yeah. Try it. Give me like a number just for fun, like 5 million.
Let's say there's 105 million people that are uninsured or underinsured.
Okay, what is the problem of that? Uninsured or underinsured? What is the problem?
That if they pass away, their family would suffer.
Okay, great. Okay. Is it more about problem? What does it solve?
No, they would probably have to sell their home. They would probably, if they own a home, the parent's going to be now working 2 jobs. Kids won't have a parent at home.
So basically, 105 million individuals who are unsure, they facing a tremendous risk when it comes to unexpected life event happen.
Yes.
Right? Tell me, what's the solution? What do we offer?
Get a life insurance policy.
Okay, no. Tell me about what do you do that different than other people? What is one thing that you do differently supporting this individual?
We educate them first that there is a need and how help them discover how they would be affected by it. 2, we educate them how much coverage they would need. So we give them a formula to do that.
And this is a dumb question, George. I'm not challenging you. How do you differ than any other insurance company?
Well, we broker for all the insurance companies. So we don't sell a product. We represent the industry. So
what made you all special?
I would say the education piece.
Okay.
And the integrity.
Okay.
Of what we do. In terms of making sure that we do the best thing for people.
So you guys are broker.
Yes.
You guys provide a holistic, comprehensive solutions.
Yes.
And through education, through integrity, we help you find the best policy aligned with your life goals.
Yes.
Perfect. Tell me what result individual will get once they working with you all.
What the benefit is?
Yeah.
So, one, they're protected. So there's peace of mind.
Yeah,
there's financial security.
Yeah.
If something happens, they're going to have an income to be able to live while they get better.
Yeah.
Or if they were to pass away, their family would get that money so they could stay in their home. Their kids could go to school.
Beautiful.
They could go buy groceries.
Amazing. I think we have ready. So in a moment, George, why don't you quickly pitch me, what do you do? And I'm looking for 3 sentences.
Okay.
You tell me the problem, you tell me the solution, tell me the benefit. Try it.
So there's 105 million people that are underinsured or uninsured. And if they were to get sick or pass away, their family would be devastated. You said the problem. What was the next one?
Yeah, and we offer solution.
So solution is we broker through all the top insurance companies in the United States. We find the best product for you with the best company.
Benefit?
And so that if something happens, that family can stay in that home, that the kids can go to school, that they can go buy groceries, that they're not struggling financially while they're healing from the loss of losing somebody they loved.
So that's a story.
Okay, I love it.
Do you see that?
Yeah. So those are your 3 steps. Tell me the problem. Tell me the solution.
That's one possibility.
Sure.
It's just one way. Think about it's like, George, today, right? You wear a brown shirt. Tomorrow you can wear a white shirt. Tomorrow you can wear a blue shirt. That is one way to amplify who you are. If you wear a white shirt, you're still George.
Yeah.
Right? It's a one way to articulate your passion, but that's not only way. It depends on what setting, what form, what audience you are. For example, we have leaders today say they only sell or only inspire on the stage. When they have a room full of industry buyers, they deliver a talk on the stage where it is a story, it is a value-padded action, but there's a sale, there's a call to action at the end. So that story structured completely differently. We have heart opening, teaching 1, 2, 3, and then give that invitation and then closing that in a different way. So do you see that in a different format, different audience, the storytelling look differently?
Sure.
And that is art itself. It's so beautiful.
Tell me your story. So like if you're the 3 things that you just did when you sit down with me, like a potential business.
Yeah. Well, do you like the story do you like the pitch you just give?
I would improve it.
Okay. Would you want to try again quickly?
And
I'll do it with you too.
You'll do it with me?
Yeah, you do it
Okay,
first, and I'll do yours. Tell me. Tell me one time.
Okay, you want me to do mine again?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 100 million people that are uninsured or underinsured that nobody's ever sat down with, nobody's ever taught them. They're looked over because they don't make enough money. They're uneducated. They're struggling financially, and they're trying to figure out life by themselves. Most of them are making bad decisions, not because they're bad people. They just don't sit down to say, hey, what's going on in my finances? So we sit down, we educate them, we teach them on what they do, how money works, something they've never learned in school. Maybe they've never learned it from their parents. We break down life insurance, retirement, savings, college, any financial goal that they have. What are your goals? And then we come in and we look at what company would provide the best solution. Instead of working with one company, there's many companies. How do you know who's the best for you, right? So we do all that work, and we look at their products, we look at their costs, their fees, everything, and we shop them to make sure that what we do for you is the best. So at the end of the day, you have a plan that gives you peace of mind, knowing that if you live, you're gonna live the life you want to live. You're gonna spend time with your grandkids. You're gonna travel. You're gonna enjoy life. If something goes wrong along the way and you get sick, we're going to take care of the bills while you get better. And if God forbid you go and you leave this earth, that the people that you leave behind are taken care of, because that's what you wanted.
How do you feel that pitch?
That was better.
What is one thing you like about that pitch?
It was more emotional
Yeah.
versus logical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can see the picture. Do you want me to pitch your business?
Yes, please.
Today, there are 100 million individuals that are unsure, and maybe from their education background or not, they are not being inclusive in the financial conversation, and they don't know how to best protect their families. Today, we offer a comprehensive education solution. We help you to really understand your needs and provide you with the customized solution for you and your family, specifically per your needs. So you can finally have that peace of mind. You know that your family are supportive in every step along your life journey. So you can finally spend time with your loved ones and leave nothing behind. That's what we do.
That was great.
How does that sound?
You should join the team.
Hey.
Top producer.
But you get
awesome.
that,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
really not about what you say, it's that moment. How do we, again, that is just quickly like a 30 seconds
Sure.
per se, right? That is one way to do storytelling versus if you say, well, you know what, we're going to do a webinar. We're going to do it because you people are you say uninsured, so they maybe are uneducated, they don't know how the insurance works. Maybe you say, well, I'm going to do a monthly lunch and learn in my office. Maybe you say, hey, well, I'm going to do a webinar quarterly. Again, I'm just throwing ideas.
Sure.
Where you're going to create a talk that inspirational, heart opening by teaching the 1, 2, 3 things and then convert in a very authentic way. And that's a little bit different kind of storytelling, which is still aligned with this, but still show them what is life could be if you are sure, if we got you, we hold your hand, we are you are our families. I know your kid's name.
I love that.
And that's a different kind of heart, I think.
I love it.
I love authentic sales. I love sales. I think sales is the ultimate way how we make the world a better place. Because when you have amazing solution, someone is looking for, the moment we are not selling, we are doing the world a disservice. By leaving that on the table, you just become a best kept secret. No one know about George. No one know about amazing thing you offer. And now he or she are suffering here. You are not helping them, and you've been selfish. So when we do the sales right, authentically, aligned with our heart, knowing that we're truly serving her or him, there's a magic. And that part is the best part of the storytelling I love the most.
I love it. So I love how you do your little move. So you help people raise money.
Yes.
You work with them and go to market. And then the third one was executive leadership.
Yes.
Tell me that part of it. Can you expand on that? Like when you work with an executive leader, what exactly are you working on?
So a lot of leaders I met with, again, they are extremely accomplished. They are individuals that are, from outside world, they probably are so successful, but something in their heart is missing, and they know that. And oftentimes it's very hard to seek that, as if you are in a box and you're looking for the way out, but the instruction is on the box. You can't see it. Like, think about any sport that you follow. Could be football, could be baseball. Every single athlete you admire or you follow, he or she always have a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
It's the exact same thing. A lot of individuals in a very high level, they're looking for the next level for them. Maybe it is for them to start a business. Maybe it's for them to raising hand, get the promotion. Maybe it's for them to start a family. It's whatever that next step for them. But oftentimes, I believe that we sometimes always in our own way between us and the next version of ourselves. And extraordinary is no other than just a little bit extra out of the ordinary every single day.
That's
so
great.
A lot of individuals looking for the next level, next breakthrough, next possibilities, and that's when they come to see me. And one of my superpowers is I see people deeply. I don't buy in their BS in a way. I don't do small talk personally. I just don't find it fun. I see their heart, and I just be a mirror, reflect back to what I see. And oftentimes that clarity just brings so much power. So I'm not teaching people do anything they don't want. They tell me what do they want. And through that, there's a magic. And even though what
do you feel is the main block for people that know what they want, but they're not getting it or they're not moving?
The fear.
The fear of what?
The fear, that is one word could be interpreted a lot of different things. Fear of not looking good. Fear of make my family down. Fear of losing my reputation. Fear of I'll lose this job. Fear that I will lose everything, which is all not real fear. It's just our mind associate. Oftentimes we grow up in a certain patterns and we associate what is right, what is wrong, and there's judgment in our head. And that judgment oftentimes amplified become a fear. And it's oftentimes just between we and ourselves. And, if you ask me what fear is really about, when there are so many different ways it's about, but if I can really talk about it, it's really about a lot of people just felt like they will let people down. I'm going to quickly tell you a book that I read. It is written by the author who is a nurse who spent decades take care of people who was about to die. So last mile in their life. And she find out oftentimes people about to die, they start talk about their biggest regret in life. So she support men and women, different gender, different race, different culture, but she see a uniquely 5 common regret people had. Guess what is number 1 regret people articulate in their last mile of their journey? One biggest regret. What do you think?
Things that they didn't do, chances they didn't take.
No.
Time they didn't spend with their family.
That's the top 5, but not the number 1. The number 1 here is, I'm going to use my word, I wish I could live a life true to myself instead of what people want me to be.
That's powerful.
So back to your question, the biggest fear is I'm so afraid of letting people down. I'm so afraid that I'm not living what her or his or my dad or my mom, their expectations. But at the end of the day is, I truly believe no one's watching. It's between you and yourself. Between you and the next version of you. It's who you want to become, who you step into, what kind of superpower you're unlocking along the way.
I love that. What's the name of the book? The Last Mile? Something
5 regrets. I will send you that afterwards. I read it like 2-3 years ago. I just remember that very, very much in my heart. So I always remind myself, I want to make sure I live the life true to myself. But I will give you the book, name of the book afterwards.
Thank you. And you have a podcast. I'll wrap up because time-wise, I want to be respectful.
Of course.
You have a podcast called If Not Now.
If Not Now, When?
And your name is Wen. So for those of you guys.
My name is Wen.
Yes. So why'd you start the pod? You asked me that.
Yeah.
Why did you start the podcast?
I started actually at a COVID time when, at the time, the whole world shut down. No one talked to no one. Everyone's in the panic mode. And at the time, I felt there's so much dissonance in the world. There's so much disconnect, so much hate, so much challenge, so many guessing, so many questions. And that make us so apart. And I personally found that we all yearn for connectivity, that love, that connection, that yes. And I believe that story is the pathway to people's heart. Story is what made this life so much more exciting. We all living a different story, but I believe that we all sing a same song. We all pursuing the exact same thing. That happiness, that success, that joy, that love, the exact same thing might look like career success for one, might look like family success for another, but it's the exact same thing. So I wanted to tell people a story. I wanted to tell a real story behind the fancy, glamorous, unicorn, rainbow. I want to see the story, the real story behind that. I want to tell the authentic story. And that's how I started the podcast.
So your
4
podcast
years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you have 150 episodes, you said?
150 episodes. Whew. My God. I cannot believe that. I was quite a producer of love, but yes.
That's awesome. And the podcast is about discovering people's stories?
So every single show is, someone that I think is awesome and talk about their stories. I help them unpack their stories.
Oh, got it. So in the podcast,
yes,
you're unpacking stories.
Yes, sir. Because I love stories.
I love it.
I'm someone do stories. I love stories. I read about stories. I'm all about stories. I think that is what connecting all of our heart, despite gender, culture, races, all in the above. We all just tell exact same stories.
It was a joy to have you on today. It was awesome.
Such an honor. Thank you, George.
No, thank you. So, guys, if you're in the Austin, wherever you are, you service people all over the world.
Yes.
Right? So if something connected with you, sometimes it's finding the right person that connects with you, and you vibrate the same energy and you agree with the same values. So if you guys connected with Wen, we'll put your contact info so they can reach out. And if you're an entrepreneur in the tech space, you're looking to raise capital, could be a great contact. If you're looking at how to go to market, or if you're looking for executive leadership, connect with Wen. And just, again, those two values, the integrity and the authenticity, you could feel it. So thank you for being on today.
Such an honor. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.